Hey guys, how's it going, Strike? So for those that don't know, Black Ops 3, I know a lot of people aren't interested in Call of Duty, but millions of people are, and it's a billion-dollar franchise, and for the most part, I like it. It plays very well. I do enjoy my time with Call of Duty. For those that, longer participants on my channel will know that I used to make Call of Duty content, and that's kind of how I paid the rent for a while, a couple of years back. But don't play it too much anymore. I've moved on to kind of bigger and better things, and I try to diversify my collection and play a lot of stuff as opposed to just Call of Duty, which is very much what I used to do. Very much a fan of Call of Duty, and it's a franchise that's very near and dear to my heart. I have a lot of respect for that franchise and for the developers. I do not get a little rowdy and a little pissed off when I see things from the publishers. I like to think I'm a little more intelligent than that. And so yeah, I just got done watching a video from Review Tech USA. He has a bit of a problem. He has a problem with 7th gen consoles, PS3 and Xbox 360, being supported by developers. He says it's time to move on. It's time to move on. It's time to... Everyone wants PS4 and Xbox One versions and high-res PC versions and high fidelity and things like this. And he doesn't necessarily say high fidelity, but what he's getting at is the fact that we need to move on from these older, very old consoles, because at this point these consoles are maybe like 14 years old in terms of hardware capabilities and maybe even older. Now, my main thing with this, the whole video about Review Tech making a video on Black Ops 3 and why it shouldn't be on 360 and PS3, it seems he's completely not versed in the subject whatsoever. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about, and it comes across very speaking before you think, right? He's seen the news and he just, boom, made a video on it. Now, he says that we need to move on. This is one of the things that really stuck out to me. There's a few points that stuck out to me, and I'll go over them now. He says that we should move on, right? That people want to see moving on. They want to see us going forward, not backwards. Now, what people have to understand is, for us, you watching this video, potentially if you have a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, or you're very into gaming culture, nerd culture, you're very up on everything, you know your know-how, and same with Rich, right? He's a PC gamer, he's got his PS4 and Xbox One and Wii U, just like I have, and gaming is really a part of me, right? So... It's very odd to me when people aren't in the know, right? Like, I don't really associate with people like that. Not because they aren't in the know about games, it's just I gravitate towards people that do know about games. It's just kind of the people I like to hang out with. Now, Rich is a very consumer-friendly person, right? He's always for the consumer. Any opinion he has, it's always for the consumer. It's always with the best interest. Having worked at a game retail store, having worked with like the general public and people's perception on what they think of games and their buying habits, and generally what they think altogether. Very, very good experience for me because it was a completely new world, okay? Rich says that it is consumer friendly and this we need to move on. Fact of the matter is, there's nearly roughly 200 million people own those consoles, okay? Just because they don't want to upgrade to new tech, or maybe they can't afford it, maybe it's not viable for them, okay, maybe they've got young kids, and maybe it's just the dad that plays like games, and he's like, hey, I work like 50, 60 hours a week, I only play for a certain amount of time. It makes no sense for me to upgrade to a PS4, I'll stick with my PS3. Now, this is very reminiscent of my dad, because while I bought my dad an Xbox One, he wasn't completely thrilled with it. He was like, yeah, it's good, I like it, but yeah, I like my PS3, so, which is why I'm probably going to change over to a PS4 for him. But, he would go out and he would buy Call of Duty year on year on year, and he loved that game. It was his thing. It was just kind of chill out time. My mum would watch some TV, and he played that. He doesn't really care where that is, and he shouldn't be forced to. And just like anyone else, any of these other 200 million consumers that still own PS3s and 360s shouldn't be forced to make the change just because our very hardcore culture sees it as a backstep, okay? Or we feel like they're kind of dwindling in the past a little bit. It seems very rude, obnoxious to just assume that everyone should have to upgrade. There's only 20 million consoles on the market. It is not business. It is not economically sound for Activision to do that. Even if they were to sell 10 million units, that is less than what Advanced Warfare sold, right? That's going 5 million on PS4 and 5 million on Xbox One, right? I think they'll do that. I think they'll do that, potentially, maybe 3 million on each. But that's still a failure to them. And Rich goes on to say, and it's this mindset that really gets to me. And I don't just see it in Rich, I see it in a lot of people, where they say it's a cash cow and they're just beating it. And it's like, well, not necessarily. Like, it's a game that does consistently well, that makes $1 billion a year. It's a internationally known franchise, just like Marvel or Harry Potter. Again, it can be said in the same vein, right? If you said Call of Duty, everyone knows what that is. My mum knows what Call of Duty is, right? Everyone knows what it is. Now, he goes on to say things like, um, this is the gripe. This is the bit that shows a lack of intelligence on the part of development, production, design. That he just really doesn't get what he's talking about. He says that there's going to be two studios dealing with it. Beanox. Beanox are the guys that made Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I think they deal with all the Spider-Man games. They made Shattered Dimensions in 2009, I want to say, which is a very good game. But Beanox, they're developing it. It's not Treyarch. Okay, Beanox are dealing with it. Beanox are dealing with the PS3 and 360 version, while Treyarch deal with the PS4, Xbox One, and PC version. Consider it as a primary edition and a secondary edition, right? Bearing in mind that the secondary edition, quote-unquote secondary edition, will probably sell more than the PS4 and Xbox One version. That's just kind of my thing. I think it might sell more on those systems. A lot of hardcore gamers moved over, sure, but there are still a lot of people out there that want those systems. So I imagine over time, it might actually sell more on PS3 and Xbox 360, right? So the idea is that Rich comes out and said that it's common sense that current gen versions can't be of a unique standard. While production on the last gen is happening. Wrong, very wrong. Beanox will probably get assets from Treyarch. They will probably get builds of the game, and they will downgrade it, just like how Bluepoint upgraded Uncharted. Naughty Dog had no part in that, sorry. And it was just down to Bluepoint to upscale it. Okay, work with texture resolution, work with remaking textures potentially, and work with higher poly models. Okay, now, for those that don't know, whenever you make a game asset, you make the high poly version, and then you scale it back, right? So you slowly take away details, slowly strip it away, and they're known as LODs, right? You have like LOD 3, 2, 1, yada, yada, yada. And potentially it goes up to like 5, right? It's studio dependent. So what Beanox will potentially do is they will get asset packs from Treyarch, okay? Treyarch are, say, working with LOD 5, right? Which is the highest res one. It's got all the best textures. It's got, 1080p textures or whatever you think is appropriate. It's really just arbitrary at this point in time. And then when they pass it over to Beanox, they will essentially rebuild the game with LOD 1, LOD 2, things like that. I get a studio that I know does this is TT, the guys that make the Lego games, right? They make all of the assets, and then when they make the PS4 ones, they work with like LOD 4, say, and then PS3, they work with LOD 3, and then with Vita and DS, they work with LOD 1 and 2. Same things, just lower down quality, so the memory of the systems and the production power of those systems can actually deal with it. This, again, shows just a lack of knowledge on Rich's part. I thought it was, again, it's speaking before you think, and it's, again, just mostly lack of knowledge, and I thought it was very disingenuous just to kind of come out with that 14-year-old kind of Reddit opinion where it doesn't show much knowledge of the industry. For the most part, it shows a disconnect between the consumer, like our culture and the consumer, and a lack of knowledge on pretty much everything to do with this. Saying things like, oh, it's a cash cow. Like, no shit, it's a cash cow. It's a fucking billion dollar game. They're going to make it. I'm really, and this is just maybe a side note, but I'm really bored of this mindset of they need to stop, like people say about Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty, right? Like, they need to stop it. They need to draw back and make new IP. That's a completely valid, 100% valid reason, right? You can say that's a valid opinion, 100% I agree. But I only agree in part if people aren't buying those games. And year on year, Call of Duty is selling tenfold over new IP. Okay? People do not want new IP every single time. And it's stupid. And this industry would be dead if it wasn't for sequels and annual releases. Okay? For every Last of Us or Bloodborne, there's a Call of Duty sequel, or Metal Gear Solid sequel, or I don't know, a new fucking port of Minecraft, right, or Killzone, or Halo, right? We cannot always have new IP. It's not business. It's not economically sound. It's stupid, if anything, to actually think that. So yeah, maybe a little more Rich can, I don't know, maybe take more time on it. I don't know. It just griped for me. It showed a lack of intelligence on his part, and so yeah. Have a good day, guys. I'm gonna watch some LCS. I missed LCS. So what I'm gonna start doing is LCS. You know what? Fuck it. I'll say it in the end video. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it in the end video. All right. Peace. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Links are here. Links are all here and stuff like that. I'm gonna go watch the LCS again because I missed NA LCS. My friend's like, you need to catch up on NA because I've been watching a ton of EU and it's just takes up so much time in my day. So yeah, I'm gonna have a few more things out these days, guys. I'm going to have maybe a vlog series just talking, because I like talking. Talking's fun. And which is why I always like come back to YouTube, just because it's good to just air your opinion now and again, and it's good to talk. So yeah, there's that, and I'm probably gonna do maybe. I know there are a lot of people that probably don't give a shit, but I'm gonna do an LCS prediction thing. I have got very few predictions wrong so far for the LCS EU. I'll try and do NA, but I'm not as well versed in NA as I'm in EU. So I'll try. I'll see what happens. Makes it give me an excuse to use Photoshop, I guess, and make some pretty graphics. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. You don't have to like the video, just drop a comment. And yeah, again, I like talking, so comments are needed more than likes and dislikes and all that shit. So thanks very much, guys. Peace.